kind of talked about Brown's importance in the Cheez-It Bowl, and you guys have like everybody else coming
Would
back.
you say? All right, wait. See, no, this is what we're not gonna do. The Cotton Bowl is a respectable bowl, Bryce. What are you talking about? That's what. Like, listen. I understand that you listen for us. Like, no, I'm not gonna say us because this is just me. For people like me that are actually football junkies and actually have deep love for the game of football and not just my team like you do, I respect the Cotton Bowl.
I've watched
And,
more bowl games than you have.
yeah, but no, but you don't respect
Oh, I don't
anything
respect
outside of the
nothing.
playoff. You don't respect anything outside the playoff. You said that.
Well, no, because we're too
So,
good for anything else. The standard now is a playoff for Michigan. I know you guys
Bryce,
have
that's
have
Bryce. That can't be your
too
standard
far.
when you can't even win a New Year's Six game. So, with that being
That's such a
said,
dumb narrative.
no,
You know who
but
Oregon's playing in a New Year's
wait,
Six
wait,
game
wait,
right
wait,
now?
wait.
Oh, righty, welcome back to another episode of the Scarlet and Blue Show. This is episode 40. We got it right this
Hey,
time.
man. Well, I was right last time. It was a shot in the dark when I said 39, but congrats on a 40th episode, bud.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. And
Yeah.
you as well, man. It's been fun. Thanks to all the viewers, subscribers, likers, commenters, all that fun stuff. We appreciate the support. It's been fun,
Haters. Can't forget the haters, man. Come on.
which you have many of.
I do.
You do. You have an incessant amount of haters,
An
which is
abundance.
all fun and also sometimes not fun, but fun for me. All right.
I can imagine.
It is. It is. So we've got, there's a lot of news going around right now. I mean, how do we preface the show? Basically, recruiting, transfer portal, madness. If this is, people don't realize this is the last time this point of a college football season is probably gonna. Well, maybe that's not true. I just think with the realignment next year, how much different things are going to be because next year you're going to have 12 teams preparing for a playoff.
Hmm.
Seasons are going to look a lot different. And
Yeah.
right now, transfer portal is absolutely bananas.
I I think. I mean, honestly, I think things are about to start really kicking off. Have you been watching the bowl games at all?
I've watched a few. Yeah, I watched them over the weekend. Yeah,
I've.
not interested.
I mean, not in the kiddie bowls. Not really. I'm gonna be honest. I watched the FAU one. I did watch FAU. Um, Outside of that, Bryce, it's been. I feel like there's a lot more kind of like just around the There's a lot more around the sport happening outside the actual game itself right now. I'll put it that way.
It's a good way to put it. It's a very good way
Yeah.
to put it. Yeah, I think like you look at you're talking the transfer portal, man. You look at
Yeah.
the 2023 top quarterback recruits. It was Arch Manning, Nico. I don't want to butcher his name. Kid at Tennessee, and then you got Dante Moore, and then you got Jackson Arnold, and you got Malachi Nelson. 3, 4, and 5 have all just
Yeah.
entered the transfer portal.
Mm.
That's crazy. All 5 stars, all top 15 players.
Well, I was so I saw Malachi Nelson went to the portal, and I was like, man, I wonder why he did. And no, as soon as I look, a few hours later, quarterback from Mississippi State, Will
Well, Rogers.
Rogers. Yeah, I'm like, oh wow. Now I don't know if I would rather have him than Malachi Nelson. I mean, we haven't seen Malachi Nelson on the field yet,
Well, Will
but I
Rogers is
mean,
going to Washington.
no, I'm sorry. Who am I thinking of? With the
You're thinking of a Kansas State quarterback.
thank you,
I got
thank
you.
you. They look the same to me, like body wise and all that. But just don't do that. But but no, man. I want to ask you a question.
Please.
How many chances do you believe the student should get without having to suffer the penalty of sitting a season out?
Ooh, good question. Sound off in the comments for your thoughts on that because I'm sure people have different reactions. I I think you should be allowed to transfer as many times as your coach does. And so I think I would say overall you should get one
Hmm.
transfer, but I think if you're let's say you're a quarterback, if your offensive coordinator and or head coach leaves,
Hmm.
you should have the freedom to leave. And I think who's the kid who just went, Dylan Gabriel, who's going to Oregon.
Yeah.
I think he's an interesting scenario where at UCF and then went to Oklahoma, and then his OC left to coach Mississippi State, and now he's going to Oregon. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I saw you on
Okay.
Twitter, but I don't want to steal your thunder. But I
Oh, go
also I
ahead.
don't
Please
disagree
do.
with what you're saying, what you're going to say either. That you should probably only get one. If we're going to treat these
Hmm.
guys like professionals, which they're on their way to becoming, or semi-professionals, then
Yeah.
any professional can leave um, in the normal workspace. In football in the NFL, you do have contracts. So are we going to consider like do college kids have to sign contracts too? Interesting
Well,
thought. What do you think?
actually, we talked about this way back in probably the first few episodes, I believe. And
Oh, by the way, just got news. Dylan Raiola switches and commits to Nebraska.
you're
Sorry to cut you off there, but
Bryce. Well, no, you know what, Bryce? No, let's stay there.
that's
Let's stay
wild.
there because all right. So I heard this sentiment, and when I heard it, I actually tend to go toward I lean towards this actually. In those professional, they are in no professional sport, especially the NFL, can you just jump from team to team.
Right.
And they are technically still supposed to be grooming these young men for the future, correct? And whether that be as young men or professionally. I think that it sends the wrong sentiment to just let students, and I understand we let these coaches do it, but that's why we have something called a buyout. Um, I think it sends the wrong sentiment if we let these students, like these still student athletes, just jump from school to school. Now, I've said this before. I believe that the first time it should be a freebie. The second time, especially if you're like a sophomore, you just were somewhere the year before. I think you should have to sit that year out.
Why?
At the
Like,
because you
just is
signed
it
because you signed you made a commitment. Now, um, now just the same way with the coach, a coach's penalty for having to sit out is that buyout. You don't get all the money you're supposed to get, correct? So you leave this, most times you're leaving some millions on the table.
correct?
Unless you have a specific situation or a special situation, I don't believe that's. I don't think the year after you transfer, you should be able to transfer the next year after that without penalty. That's my belief of it. Now, say if you're like a fifth year senior, this is Julie from his first transfer. I think for a guy like him, Will Rogers, guys like that, I have no problem with that. But when you're talking about going from team to team to team, I think no, it's that's not the real world. That's not the real world.
Well, it is in the sense that
But
you and I could switch jobs. But you're saying
to an extent,
for athletes,
yeah,
professional athletes, you have contracts.
it's you live in a different world than we do. We're not. We are civilians.
The future of the sport, specifically college football, is going to be interesting to see what this turns into because we're talking right now, and I love when our show
Mm-hmm.
gets legal because we are definitely not legal experts. But
Speak for yourself.
fair. The what the commitment and the letter of intent means. What does that mean for you? Does that just simply mean you get a scholarship? Does that mean the school owes you, scholarship, resources, all that fun stuff? But then what does that mean that you owe the school? And that's a good question. I don't have an answer to that.
Ooh, I don't have the answer. That was a great. I thought was that a rhetorical question?
No,
I can't answer that for you
because
right now.
that's
I would have to think about that, Bryce. That's a very good question from you.
well, you said the commitment. You said that you have made a commitment, and when you make a commitment, you can't transfer. But what does a commitment really mean, and why do you get to transfer one time opposed to two? Is that because you're a kid and you get to make the mistake once, but then you can't make a mistake twice, but you can under certain circumstances? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But it does lead to an interesting conversation because I would always lean to the side of just letting kids do what a coach can essentially do or what a normal student could do. any student can transfer schools whenever they want.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's a complicated it's a complicated topic. It is. I mean, for what it is now, it is like it is what it is right now. But I think pretty soon here they're gonna have to change those rules.
Yeah.
They're gonna have
Oh, they
to.
will. They will. And this goes into another conversation, which we're going to talk about here. But before we do
Mm,
that, I want to go off script. Let's bring it back to Michigan, Ohio State, because that's
yeah.
the point of the show.
Mhm.
Ohio State, you guys haven't brought any transfers in quite yet, and it's early,
Mhm.
and nor has Michigan. Michigan fans, I'll talk to you here. Dante Moore is on the table.
Mhm.
I don't know what the experts are saying, where he's going to go, where he's going to lean. I've heard Michigan, Oregon. I've heard Ohio
Mhm.
State for some, but then not others.
That's not happening.
Okay, that's not. Garrison says it's not going to happen. I thought I saw Florida State in there as well.
Mhm.
If someone asked me, I want Dante Moore? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. A talented kid, a Michigan product, more competition at the QB spot. I think I want him there. That's going to be my take. If we can get him, if he wants to come to Michigan, which I don't know if he wants to or not, I think we need to take him. Now, Jaden Davis is apparently, I think he's enrolled. I think he was an early enrollee.
It's coming in January.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think, and then JJ hasn't talked about his NFL future.
Hmm.
So we don't know what he's going to do. And then
Right.
you got guys like Alex Orji, who would presumably be next in line, while Jaden Davis kind of gets settled. And then you got a handful of other quarterbacks in that room. I think, I mean,
It's not the most talented quarterback room. It's there ain't that much talent in the quarterback room.
so then if
I
you add
think
Dante Moore, does that help?
yes, it does. I think if he goes, I don't think Alex Orton is going to be in Michigan next year.
Okay.
So, because me personally, I don't think he can win the job. And that's because of his own skill set and what he can't do, which I believe he's not a very good passer. Um, Bryce, I have this thing where I say every year I want Ohio State to bring a quarterback into that room for the simple reason that you need to keep talent at the in that. If there's one place you need to have talent, it's at the quarterback position.
Yes.
Someone's gonna transfer. That's gonna happen. Like I mean, before the beginning of the year, Bryce. I mean, I said I didn't expect Devin Brown or Kyle McCord to be here by the end of the year. Both of them, one of them had to go. Now the circumstances of why you're leaving is different because you were the quarterback all year, but you have to keep talent in that room. If I'm Michigan, I'm trying to get Dante Moore there. I,
Agreed.
I now can you pitch it better than Oregon? Who knows? Uh,
Sure, of course. Great.
Bill Knight's a great. That's a great.
Phil Knight's checkbook.
Yeah.
It's tough.
But uh, if I'm you guys, I want them. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of talent quarterbacks, Michigan State,
They
hey,
got the Oregon State kid, right?
number one quarterback in the transfer portal. So
Yeah.
top 10 quarterback last year's class.
Yeah. That's a good
Mhm.
get. They're have we talked about that hire yet?
We have not. We can some other time.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think it's a
after the
great hire.
season. I haven't.
I have one concern,
I,
but go
I,
ahead.
I want to learn more about him before I even. I think I know he's a good hire, but I want to learn more about him, read more about him before I even make a come on here and talk. I almost speak like I don't know like what I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Of course.
So yeah.
The
Even though I tend to do that sometimes, but
I'd say it.
you didn't disagree with it.
Do you do you guys want a transfer quarterback? Or have you burned the ships? It's DB 33 time.
Right now is DB 33 time, Bryce.
Ooh, that right now, that's quite the caveat.
Yes. Listen, I I'm all on board. I support Ohio State Buckeyes. If he's the quarterback, he's the quarterback. But I put this out on our Twitter earlier today, and I asked, does Devin Brown's performance decide whether or not Ryan Day goes into the portal for quarterback? 59% said yes,
Okay.
and I agree with it. If he goes out there, Bryce, 300 to 350, 20, 30 rushing yards, he's the guy going to next year. I don't think Ryan Day goes into the portal. He struggles a little bit, or he's or he's inconsistent like Kyle, where you have some wow plays and some good grease. You gotta go into the portal, see what you can get. Just like JD, Aaron Nolan gets to Ohio State in January. So I mean, you still got Lincoln Keenholz. So we'll see, man. I mean, there's three talented guys in that room right now. And I think if you're Ryan Day, you're at a point now, Bryce. It's time. It's time to. The ship isn't. The ship is steered right. It's not. It's not like we're going 8-4, 9-3. But you gotta be Michigan. You gotta win the Big Ten. I think you're gonna make the playoff no matter what next year.
Should.
And you gotta get to a natty. It's gonna be
Yes.
harder. Is it going to be? I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily harder to get to a natty with 12 teams. I guess you would tend to say yes, but it's time to find that guy. And I mean, as of right now, Bryce, all the guys are raving about not Kyle, but Devin Brown right now in practice. I mean, Denzel Burke, I was like, no, he can sling that. He's slinging that ball right now. So Emeka had high praise for him. Everyone's saying that he's been the leader. He's been. I'm confident in the kid. I'm
Okay.
confident. Now I'm confident about most quarterbacks at Ohio State, but I'm gonna tend to lean with the guys that he's playing with and the words that are coming out of their mouth.
Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, I think
And I don't. I don't know who we're gonna get. I mean, if Cam Ward hasn't decided where to go yet, I don't know who else you go get.
sounds like Cam Ward is between Florida State, Miami. Speaking of Miami, Garrison,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Jeremiah Smith tweeted out a wide-eyed emoji that I think looks like this.
Yeah.
He's gone, right?
He put Ohio State back in his Instagram bio. Don't care.
No, he did.
Yes, he did.
Let's see.
Right.
It's
Listen,
loading.
Florida kids are very fickle, but I'm gonna take the kid for his words. He said as long as Ryan Day and Hartline are at Ohio State, he's not decommitting.
Okay, it's in his. What about Edric Houston?
I think he's a Buckeye. He's a Buckeye.
Oh.
I understand. Listen, Miami people. I understand. We destroyed your program. I
Oh my
understand.
gosh. All right.
I get that you're still mad about that pass interference. It's okay.
Which
I get
was.
that it was a pass interference. It was. I understand, guys. I understand that you lost to a 12-0 subpar talented Ohio State offense. I get it. I get it. But hey, maybe one day your program will come back into form and into shape. And until then, we are your daddy, and we own South Florida. It is what it is.
Miami fans, thoughts? Your chance to respond.
They can't respond to me, Bryce.
So we talked. Okay, we kind of talked about Brown's importance in the Cheez-It Bowl, and you guys have like everybody else coming back.
Would you say? All right, wait. See, no, this is what we're not gonna do. The Cotton Bowl is a respectable bowl, Bryce. What are you talking about? That's what. Like, listen, I understand that you listen for us. Like, I'm not gonna say us because this is just me. For people like me that are actually football junkies and actually have deep love for the game of football and not just my team like you do, I respect the Cotton Bowl.
I've watched more bowl games than you have.
Yeah, but no, but you don't respect anything outside of the playoff. You don't respect anything outside the playoff. You said that.
Well, no, because we're too
So,
good for anything else. The standard now is a playoff for Michigan. I know you
Bryce,
guys have
Bryce. That can't be your standard when you can't even win a New Year's Six game. So, with that being
That's such
said,
a dumb narrative.
no,
You know who
But
Oregon's playing in a New Year's
wait,
Six
wait,
game right
wait, wait,
now?
wait. You said it's a dumb narrative, Bryce. A narrative. Is it a true narrative?
I suppose it's
Thank you.
true.
Thank you. That's all
Who
I need to
does
hear out of you.
look who tell me who Oregon plays in their bowl game and their New Year's Six bowl game right now?
They are playing a respectable Christian institution.
Yeah, they're playing Liberty. Liberty. So guess what? Michigan could play in that game, or we could be Michigan State in 2021, where we play Pitt, who's down to their third string quarterback, and win by a touchdown. Are we going to count that? Is
or
that towards our bragging rights?
no, but you could do what Michigan State also did, Bryce, and play Baylor and have one of the greatest fourth quarter comebacks of all time in the New Year's Six game. You could do that.
Could do
Like,
that, or they get curb stomped to Alabama in the playoff.
or you get cursed on by Georgia, like you did in the playoff.
We get curb stomped. We put up 11 points. That's more than you guys did against Clemson.
Against Georgia?
Against Clemson, going back to
Hey, Bryce, last time I checked, we curb stomped them the last time I checked. So
oh yeah, what happened in that game before that game?
we got cheated.
Oh, got it. Stallions, right?
No, what? What Stallions got to do with anything with Clemson?
Oh, I was talking about the game before the Georgia game when you played Michigan, getting curb stomped.
You said Michigan?
Hey, it's a kid show. Hey, let's dive into okay, so I've got a take on this show, and we're falling away from Michigan Ohio State, but I think that's okay for now.
That's okay.
Because this is something that we've talked about and that you and I disagree on, and we'll make a little bet. I don't know what we're gonna bet, but we're gonna make a bet.
Your South Christian helmet.
Oh, deal. Okay.
And I'll give you the Gare Bear if you win.
Nah, I think it's something. I don't want the Gare Bear. I think it's
something. Dude, come on, that's pretty cool.
Wait, what is the Gare Bear?
Dude, so our senior year, they had a teddy bear with a stripe with a number 3 on it, and whenever I scored touchdowns, they threw it in the crowd.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I had the Gare Bear in my room.
Oh, I'm not gonna take that from you.
I'll bring it next time.
All right. I don't believe the NCAA will be around it. Let me rephrase that. I don't believe the NCAA will oversee college football in 5 years.
Give me 1 second, Bryce. Just we're back. We're back here again. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know why that's such a preposterous comment.
It is, Bryce, because it's not like it's. Go ahead, Bryce.
Well, let's hear your side. I made the statement. Hear your rebuttal in the court of law.
Because you still need rules and regulations in the game of football, NCAA football. So, if that's the case, tell me who's going to make the rules.
So you're saying we need rules, rule enforcers, regulators, and oversight?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So who else will it be?
Either be the conferences themselves, or college football will separate out away from the NCAA.
I told you we can't do that. I told you before that you can't do that, Bryce, because the rules and regulations would not be the same for each respective conference. So with that being known and said, that won't work.
I feel like you didn't hear the second part of what I said. I said it'll either be the conferences, or it will be or it could be and or it will be a new formed body that you're going to have the schools and conferences get delegates to represent.
How far down the line do you think that's going to happen? Because you're Bryce, what you're talking about now is creating a whole new there's a lot of rules and regulations through the NCAA. Yep. And in all reality, Bryce, though some people do not like the NCAA. I'll probably most people, it serves its purpose, and more times than not, it does a good job of what it does in its job. So usually you get mad because of the more higher profile things that happen in college football. But like let's take like you guys in let's talk about your guys' situation with COVID. In all reality, Bryce, they did their job. They said they wanted 4 games. You guys gave what, Gym 3? Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Was there one game off such a big deal? No. In the grand scheme of things, it never was. So it serves its purpose. They were technically doing their job the right way because you guys broke COVID rules and you broke recruiting rules. So I don't understand what I think overall they do a good job. I think overall they do their job. So it's just that people don't like it when their team gets hit over the head with the rules. That's just the truth of the matter.
I would disagree that they do a good job. I think they do a job, but the COVID rule breaking was after the 2020 season or was that before the 20? I gotta go back and look.
After
So it was after. So was it
it would
going
have been
in?
it would have been after the 2020 season going into next year, but between that period.
Yeah, so a season and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think the NCAA does a poor job because of how long it takes. Their investigations take forever. And they also do a
Yes.
bad job because there isn't a level playing field. Because if we're going to sit here and say SEC schools aren't doing this, which whatever, Michigan broke the rules, fine. Rules are broken. They broke them. They served the punishment, whatever. But you're telling me that there's level ruling across the conferences? And I
No,
don't think there is.
I think no, there isn't. You're right about that, but I also think a lot of that has to do with how cooperative you are with them, what you are willing to do to your own program, coach, etc. I think all that does like it's. Oh, I'll give you a perfect example, Bryce. If let's say you get caught breaking the law, right, and you're able to go into the hearing with and like your lawyer says Bryce Sack is he's a leader in the community. Let's say you also have your pastor in the court right there, your parents to give you your wife to give you support in there, so they see that there are people who are behind you worth of note. You are able to say, listen, I've done this, that, and the third. I've never broken any laws. The judge will give you a less more times than not, Bryce. The judge will be nicer and give you a lesser sentence. It's the same thing with NCAA. If you're willing to be cooperative and do whatever you got to do, it's not going to be as bad as it would if you didn't. Is that fair?
I think in totality, generally speaking, yeah, that's probably fair. I don't think
And
that's
that
always the case.
and then when this first came down, I said to you, just self-sanction yourselves. It will do you a whole lot of good.
Yeah, but see, so what you're saying in all this is you think you're okay with the NCAA. I'll say you're okay with the NCAA. I'm not going to go as far and say you like the NCAA, but you're okay with the NCAA because college football needs a governing body to enforce rules.
Yes,
To
and
which
I
point I'm
think
going to say I don't disagree. They do need a body to enforce rules, whether that is a
mhm,
coalition of all the conferences come together or it's a created entity that enforces rules or creates rules and then enforces rules.
right.
Right now, you look at the NCAA's relationship to college football. College football pays for the majority of other sports teams. You get a handful of basketball programs that pay for themselves. But for the most part, football's paying for all of that. You're also getting a an organization that the value does not equal the revenue created. And what I mean by that is college football programs could be doing better on their own financially. And I think you're going to get to the point where there's going to be teams that don't want to share the wealth. There'll be programs that don't want to share the wealth with
Mm-hmm.
either other teams at their own school or share the wealth with teams within their conference. And then you're going to get a handful of teams that want to go out and separate and create their own thing. And so I don't think it's going to come
Yes.
from the NCAA doing a really, really poor job or doing, I guess, really even a really great job. It's going to come from powerful schools wanting to do things their own way. I mean, 3 years ago, if you were to tell me that 2 years ago, if you were to tell me Washington and Oregon are going to join the Big Ten, I said that's crazy. Look how fast
Yeah.
that moved. We had the 12 team playoff just like that. And I think
Yeah.
what started this conversation is Chip Kelly's comments. If you haven't seen what he said, I guess we can probably put it in here. We'll edit it in here afterwards.
I have it right here. I have it pulled up right here. Yep.
Yeah, he's basically saying that you're going to see college football teams go independent. I don't think where I lose that or he loses me there is there's too much TV deal money, too much TV revenue wrapped up in the conferences. I don't think the conferences would be the first to go.
Bryce, you know why you can't do that? Why you can't go separate? College football will turn into like professional soccer. The teams where like Man U can buy their players, or baseball can use almost buy championships.
Does, do you think that doesn't happen now?
I think to a lesser degree it does,
Oh, I think purchasing of talent is
because not everyone's getting paid. Everyone on a football team is not getting paid like the top five players on a team do.
yeah, but not
So
everybody for Real Madrid is getting paid the same that Ronaldo was getting paid.
yeah, but but your starters are all highly compensated.
Is that not the case at Georgia?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think yeah, I don't think you have 20. I don't think they have 22 guys. 20. I don't think 22 of their starters are getting 100 grand up. I don't think
oh,
that.
I disagree with that completely.
I
Oh,
don't think that
when
at
you
all.
have Matt Rule saying that the quarterback and the transfer market is $1 million. Oh yeah, I think every starter, every 5-star coming to Georgia is getting 6 figures. Oh, no doubt. So I think the money's there and people are going to pay
Okay,
to play.
maybe 100 grand is the right number. I'll probably say 500 grand. Everyone probably 500 is a better number. Because think about the highest. Marv made 1.6. That's
That's
Marv. That's Marv.
that's still that's so much money. Half of that is 800 grand.
I
So
promise.
I
Let
say to
me
say
see.
someone's going to get 250, 300, 400, like that's not crazy. That's not crazy out of this world. So I don't do you have anything else on that?
Maybe something. What I mean, I'm looking at Denzel Burke was at 616. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I stand by what I said. No, they're not all getting. No, Denzel Burke is making 600 grand. No, not every guy's making 500 grand on that team on the starters. There's no way.
Oh, all right. I think we'll have to do some digging here. Sound off in the
Well, yeah,
comments. I hate saying that,
sound
but
off.
I just, yeah, we're gonna find ourselves in a position where college football is of course become a semi-professional sport.
Well, yeah, maybe we'll see. I think that's probably 5 to 10 years down the line if any of that happens.
And that's 2000, what, 28? A lot can happen between now and then.
Yeah, I
Things move
agree.
quick.
I don't think it's a crazy. I don't think it's crazy,
Yep.
but
Market, book market here, December 19th,
number 19.
the year of our Lord, 2023. All right, we got a couple minutes here.
Mm-hmm.
Came up with a fun conversation. The Christmas list for our teams.
Yes.
Garrison came up with this one. 3 games we want to end the season, or we're going to next season.
Yes.
So the obvious one, I'll go first. The obvious one for me
Yeah.
is a championship, a national championship.
I thought it might be a lead in a playoff game, but continue.
That's what I want. You're not going to ruin that for me. What do you want, Garrison?
Is that all you? Is that all you want?
No, I think we go back and forth.
Oh, okay. My first one: win the bowl game. Win the bowl game.
That's it.
Yeah, that's my first one. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You end the season on a positive note. I'm
Okay.
not. I don't want to end the season with a 2 L's. 2 L's? No. That happened last year. Not again.
Yeah. Okay.
Not Missouri. Not Missouri.
Dude, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be an underrated game.
I I
I don't know what the spread on that is.
I have a friend who told me he thinks they're gonna beat us 34-20. That might be the most insane thing I've ever heard.
That's the gutsy call. Where did it go?
What are you looking for?
Oh, so it's
Next week.
you guys are still dogs. 2.5-point underdogs.
Yeah, went up. I'm okay
Even
with it. I
even
like that.
even
I
with
like
all of
this.
your guys coming back and playing.
Bryce, I love this. So far, no one has said they're not playing outside of Julian, of course, leaving, and Mayan going to the pros. But and I don't know if that means he's not playing, but I'm assuming he's not because he's prepared for that, and he's gonna need it. But I want to. I like being the underdog. And look, check recent history. More times than not, out of conference when Ohio State's an underdog, we
Okay.
do well. We do well.
All right. All right. So you want a Cotton Bowl victory. Boy, how the
Yes,
mighty
I
have
do.
fallen.
No, what's wrong with me saying that?
Yeah, nothing wrong with
Wait,
it.
I'm wrong because I want my team to win a game. Good
It
God
just,
Almighty!
it
Like,
just, you guys used to just want so much more, and you expected more
no,
every
Bryce,
season.
Bryce, Bryce. This is the situation we're in.
I know. I'm just poking.
Uh,
I want. I do want the Jim Harbaugh extension, and if it's not going to come, I want it to be figured out sooner rather than later. I want him to come out after the national championship victory and be like, I'm gone. I'm going to the Chargers. I just want it to be quick. Salvage any recruits, hire more, whoever it is going to be. Let's move quick. So I want the extension, but if it's not going to happen, which he said in the award show dinner that he said, I hope everyone comes back who can come back. I don't know what that means. Felt very cryptic. Is that saying he's coming back? Is that saying he's going to leave, but everyone should come back? I don't know.
that's a good one. A reasonable one. My next one, where I put it, there it is. All right. Any position that we need depth in, please fill it out in the portal now. I don't care about young guys' feelings. I don't care about anyone's feeling on the team. Unless I know you are ready to take that next step as an Ohio State Buckeye football player, I'm willing to get any talent that we can bring on this team. Because next year, Bryce, I think that when you have almost like the NFL, but like you see this in the SEC, when you have a strenuous schedule, guys get hurt more because you're playing tougher games. So I think that especially next year we need to, especially like positions like linebacker, running back, we need depth. I think we have.
Yeah.
The more I look at it, Bryce, we need running backs. We do, and I'm hoping that we can get both the guys that we have this year in this year's class, especially Peoples. But we need running back depth. But that's my second one.
Well, Lyles is transferring, or he's decommitting.
We don't know yet, but we'll find out. I think he's going to go to Miami, like most
Okay.
people do. But yeah,
Yeah. All right. Last minute here. I want two things to happen. I want Jeremiah Smith to decommit. I think it would just be hilarious. Hilarious. And then I want
that's grimy. That's grimy right
and then
there.
I want Damani Jackson to come and play with Will
You want
Johnson.
you want a USC defensive player on your team?
He'll be molded
Oh,
right in our program. He'll be developed right. But kid was
okay,
5-star buddies with Will. Should have happened originally. It didn't. That's fine. Come on back, kid. And we
okay.
need corner depth.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. Um, my third one, Bryce, beat Michigan.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
I plain and simple.
Plain
Plain and
and simple,
simple.
brother. All right. Well, we got
Yes.
like 2 seconds here. So good stuff.
I
It's a
was
good
calm
show.
today. I was pretty calm today, you know.
We're level headed. I don't like it. Let's figure it out next time.
I'm having a good day.